What if your refrigerator wasn't in your kitchen, but outside your front door? What if the air itself froze your breath before it reached the ground? In the far reaches of Siberia lies Yakutia, a land where winter rules everything. Here, the cold is not a season, it is a way of life. Metal snaps like twigs, engines sleep under blankets of ice, and the sound of cracking trees echoes like distant gunfire. At -51 degrees Celsius, nothing survives easily. Yet, somehow, nearly 1 million people do. They eat, work, laugh, and love in temperatures that would stop most hearts. So, how do they live here? And more importantly, what do they eat when the world outside is frozen solid? Yakutia, officially the Sakha Republic, is the coldest inhabited region on the planet. For 6 months of the year, the sun barely rises. The temperature drops lower than anywhere else outside Antarctica, often reaching -55 degrees Celsius. Frost coats every window like silver lace. Cars are left running all day, so their engines don't freeze. Even the air feels heavy, pressing against the lungs with every breath. But it's not just the cold that defines Yakutia, it's how the people fight it. Every bite of food, every ritual, every spark of fire tells a story of endurance. And at the center of it all is the beating heart of Yakut life, the frozen market of Yakutsk. The market sits in the open air, its aisles glimmering under frost. Rows of fish stand like statues, their scales shining like glass in the sunlight. Vendors wear thick fur coats and stand outside for 10 hours straight. Their cheeks glow red, their eyelashes dusted with frost. Here, the air is colder than any refrigerator. The market doesn't need electricity. Every shelf, every crate, every slab of meat is kept fresh by the endless winter itself. Frozen fish cheer, muksun, nelma, burbot fish caught from icy rivers and frozen instantly by nature's hand. Some weigh over 10 kilos, their tails stiff as wood. The cold keeps them perfect for months, untouched by time. In Yakutia, food isn't just about taste, it's about survival. Every meal is a small victory against the cold. The land is locked in permafrost. Farming is almost impossible. Fresh fruits and vegetables are rare treasures, often flown in from thousands of kilometers away. Tomatoes can cost $10 for half a kilo. An apple is a luxury. So Yakut cuisine is built not on what the land grows, but on what it gives animals, fish, milk, and snow itself. At -50 degrees Celsius, the body burns calories faster than anywhere else. To stay alive, Yakut people eat high-fat, high-protein food, meat and fish that warm the body from the inside. It's not a choice, it's nature's demand. Fish is the heart of Yakut cuisine. Pulled from the Lena River or the icy seas of the Far East, it freezes solid the instant it touches the air. There are no machines here, no industrial freezers. The world itself does the job. In the market, you'll see them laid out in perfect rows. Chir, muksun, nelma, burbot, omul, and taimen, each as solid as marble, their colors glowing faintly beneath a layer of frost. The most famous dish is Stroganina. It begins with a frozen fish, carved into paper-thin ribbons using a sharp Yakut knife. The slices curl in the air, glinting like shards of glass. You don't cook it, you don't thaw it. You eat it raw, still frozen, straight from the cutting board. Locals dip it in salt, pepper, or vinegar. Tourists gasp when they try it cold, clean, and so delicate it melts on the tongue like snow. For Yakuts, it's more than food. It's a symbol of resilience. Every bite is proof that life can thrive in the coldest place on Earth. In the open-air market, there's something you'll never see anywhere else in the world: frozen milk. It's sold not in bottles, but in blocks, hard, white, and glowing under frost. People buy it by the kilo, take it home, melt it, and drink it warm. The idea sounds strange until you realize how practical it is. In Yakutia, even milk obeys the cold. And before meals, some families still follow ancient rituals and echo of the old Sakha beliefs. They toss small pancakes, called blini, into the fire. The offering is for the spirit of fire, the protector of warmth. In a world this cold, fire is sacred. To eat without thanking it would be unthinkable. Yakuts have learned to turn milk into strength. Their most iconic drink is kumis, made from fermented mare's milk. It's slightly sour, lightly alcoholic, and full of nutrients. Served cold in carved wooden cups, it's both a daily drink and a ceremonial one. There's also kirche, whipped cream mixed with frozen lingonberries, eaten as dessert. It's soft, sweet, and tart, like the taste of a fleeting summer. Because here, summer lasts only a few weeks, and berries are gathered in that short window, frozen, and saved for the long winter. Then comes salamat, the butter dish of warmth. Made from flour and melted butter, it's thick, heavy, and golden. Yakut families eat it with bread during the harshest months, calling it the fattiest food in the world. It keeps them alive when the cold bites deepest. Every 30 seconds, life here flips between wonder and endurance. A boy walks to school through clouds of frozen breath. A woman chops blocks of frozen meat on her balcony instead of storing them in a freezer. In Yakutia, the balcony is the freezer. When a family needed to cook, they saw their food apart using industrial blades. And yet, there's laughter. Even in minus 50 degrees Celsius, the market feels alive, full of chatter, color, and pride. No one complains. No one asks for warmth. They already have it deep inside. At first glance, Yakutsk's peasant market looks like something from another world. No bright stalls, no humming refrigerators, no scent of roasted coffee or warm bread. Instead, every sound is crisp and sharp. The crack of ice beneath boots, the quiet hum of a distant generator, the breath of vendors turning to mist in the air. Here, life itself stands still. But step closer, and you realize this is not silence. It's survival in motion. Most sellers stand outside for 8 to 10 hours. There are no breaks to warm up, just small metal heaters or a flask of hot tea shared between friends. Their faces are red and wind-burned, but their spirits are light. One woman says she's been working there for 15 years. When asked how she does it, she shrugs. This is our life. The cold doesn't ask permission. At night, the market freezes again. The fish remain exactly where they were, untouched by time. The air is so dry that nothing rots, nothing smells. Nature itself guards the food. And in the morning, when the first vendors return, everything looks exactly the same, like the night never happened. In most parts of the world, people fear their food spoiling. In Yakutia, the fear is the opposite: food freezing too hard to cut. That's why sawing stations exist across the city. Locals bring entire animal carcasses or frozen fish to these small shops. There, specialists use giant circular saws to carve the meat into manageable pieces. Some residents call them ice butchers. Others joke that every Yakut child grows up learning not how to cook first, but how to saw. Even home kitchens look different here. Balconies become storage spaces filled with frozen milk, vegetables, and meat. Nature's walk-in freezers. On especially cold nights, some families even hang their groceries outside the window, tied with rope, safe from animals and thieves. The city itself is a living refrigerator. Not everything is frozen, though. Inside the market's small indoor section, warmth greets visitors like a friend. The smell of smoked fish fills the air, rich, oily, comforting. This is where yukola, the dried fish, hangs in long rows. Some are smoked, others salted. The scent is sharp and deep, like the sea. Everything in Yakutia happens slower. Engines take 20 minutes to start. Water freezes in minutes. And yet, somehow, people smile more often than you'd expect. They talk to strangers easily. They share tea from a thermos. They laugh when visitors shiver and stomp their feet. But beneath the surface of these jokes lies a quiet pride. In a place where even the air feels heavy, every act of life becomes an act of strength. Eating, working, breathing, all of it matters. As evening falls, the market glows with faint orange light. The fish glitters. The snow reflects everything. The temperature drops even lower. but no one hurries home. For them, the cold is not the enemy. It's a teacher. Every frozen meal is a reminder of what it means to adapt. Every smoked fish, every block of milk, every bowl of soup is a message passed through generations. You can survive anything if you learn to live with it. When the market closes and the wind starts howling through the frozen streets, Yakutia retreats indoors. This is when the world changes. Outside is survival. Inside is warmth. A Yakut home glows like an ember in the snow. The windows are small, thick with frost. The wooden walls creak as the cold presses against them. Inside, a stove burns softly, filling the air with the smell of smoke, butter, and tea. Here, the family gathers, and every meal begins not with eating, but with gratitude. Before the first bite, some families perform an ancient ritual. They take a small piece of pancake made from flour, milk, and eggs soft and golden and toss it into the fire. It's an offering to the spirit of fire, the eternal guardian of warmth. For centuries, Yakuts have believed that every flame carries life. Without it, no home, no meal, no survival. So before anyone eats, they thank the fire that keeps them alive. The room fills with quiet murmurs and the faint hiss of butter melting on the pan. It's not just cooking, it's a ceremony. Outside, the wind screams against the walls. Inside, there's laughter and the smell of fried dough. Morning begins early, even when the sun refuses to rise. Breakfast is the most important meal in Yakutia, not for comfort, but for fuel. The day often starts with Yakutian pancakes, fried until golden and slightly crispy on the edges. They're rich, oily, and dense, made to last through hours in the cold. Beside them sits a bowl of whipped cream and frozen berries, often lingonberries or black currants, bright red against the white of the cream. They call it kirche. It's a sweet tart and cold dessert that feels like eating the snow, only softer. Sometimes there are two breakfasts, one at home and one at work. Because in this kind of cold, hunger doesn't wait for lunch. In this frozen republic, food isn't just eaten, it's honored. When a hunter brings home meat, it's a celebration. When the first fish of the season is caught, it's shared. Even in small apartments in Yakutsk city, families still hold on to old customs. Pancakes for the fire, toasts to the land, blessings before meals. Because here, eating is sacred. To eat is to live, and to live is to thank the world that lets you. As the family finishes dinner, the fire crackles softly. Outside, the wind hums through the snow like a song. A grandmother pours hot tea into small glasses, and the steam fogs the window. She says quietly, "We don't fear the cold. We respect it." And in that moment, you realize warmth here isn't just in fire or food, it's in faith. So when you see a Yakut slicing frozen fish at -51 degrees Celsius, or drinking milk that comes in solid blocks, remember that they are not surviving. They are thriving. They have turned the coldest place on earth into a home. They have found warmth where none should exist, and they have proven something to the rest of the world. That strength doesn't always roar sometimes, it simply breathes. The air may sting, the night may bite. But in Yakutia, people walk forward, smiling through the frost. Because here, in the kingdom of ice, the greatest heat comes not from fire, but from the human heart. If you woke up tomorrow and the air outside could freeze your breath in seconds, would you still step out the door? Would you smile as your eyelashes turned to ice? Would you share food with your neighbors, even when everything you owned was frozen solid? That's what the people of Yakutia do every single day. So next time you sit down for a warm meal, think of them. Think of the families who eat in silence while the world outside howls. Think of the strength it takes not just to live, but to live well, in a land made of snow. Because Yakutia isn't just cold, it's proof that even in the harshest places on Earth, the warmth of humanity never dies.